What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles. You're listening to Lyles Movie Files. We are back. The national nightmare and embarrassment is over, and we can stop talking about politics again because things should be quote unquote back to normal. So now we are here to talk about all the cool stuff going on in Hollywood. Joining me as always, little brother Jace. How you doing?
Feels a little easier to breathe today, so good to go.
And the main man Chief. How you doing, man?
I'm well. I'm well. I appreciate you asking. Thank you.
Anytime. All right, let's jump into it. WandaVision opened or debuted this first two episodes last Friday. Jace, I told you it was going to be a little weird, a little wacky. What did you think about it?
You did not lie. It is a little weird and wacky. Um, it's funny. As I said recently, like I need things to make me laugh, and these first two episodes actually did make me laugh. It was like the humor was actually not the force. I mean, it was like the laugh track was perfect because the joke was actually like, all right, this is very silly 650 60s sitcom with a guy who can go invisible and has all the Vision's powers. Like the second episode was like perfectly like it was like, yeah, this is funny. Like you can't lie, this is funny. Um, and I had to look a little bit is the like kind of what's going on in the background. I was the thing I didn't get initially, but then after I did a little research, like, oh, this is the breadcrumb that I was missing, and I'm actually glad I read some of that stuff.
Which one?
But just kind of where they may be going with this sitcom early on, because I know, like I said initially, what I was kind of interested on was that they might be using like kind of showing like Wanda's full powers and kind of why this world is getting created, and it's like kind of like there's a Marvel book that's based on that kind of what Wanda's capable of, and if she's not in the right headspace, what all that can take. And so it's like, okay, that's very. I mean, this kind of environment is a very materialized version of that. So I'm intrigued to see where the next two go. I probably would say is one caveat. I probably would say people should probably, if you're not sure about it, like if it didn't hook you with the trailers, I'd probably wait at least another episode or two before you get in. Because it's not an hour-long show. It's a half-hour-long show. So maybe binge a little more before you say, all right, this is trash. Or before you say you're ready to write it off. Because I think this is important Marvel stuff. So you need to kind of look into it before the next phase of film starts. So probably go from there.
I definitely think it's going to be one of those where people who have expectations going into it that are getting something totally different than what they thought it was going to be are going to be surprised and think this is terrible. And because of how short the episodes are, it's going to be like my questions weren't answered. And I feel like that's a lot of the complaints I'm seeing from people online is they want everything neatly arranged. Here's what we're building towards. They want the season finale and like the end of the first episode, as opposed to just watching and letting it play out. I've already seen the third episode, and it definitely amps everything up that they've set up so far in the first two episodes, and it is definitely my favorite of the three so far. And I'm sure it's gonna keep going up, but this one was one I was like, whoa, okay. So I think this will be the one that if people have been kind of like, I'll stick around to see where it goes, this week is going to be the episode that they're going to be like, okay, I'm in. I trust you guys again. I'm back.
Yeah, I'm trying to wonder, like, the fact that they did this show is a half-hour-long show versus an hour-long show. I'm wondering if they would have been, I mean, I think you almost need to break it up with how the two episodes are. You need to have that break in the middle, but it's like, I'm hoping maybe the latter ones are a little longer. They have, more of what
they range in time. So they're not going to be an hour, but they're going to be like 40 minutes maybe. Some will be 35. I know the Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes are going to run longer on average. So it just depends on the property.
Okay.
I think this is 9 episodes. It's either 8 or 9. I think I'm mixing up the two.
Yeah. I think for as short as this is, it probably needs to be 9, but those latter ones, get to what could be this part. You're like, oh, they did set. I mean, it's almost like it almost could be a very good setup if they do. I mean, like we have sort of an expectation of good Marvel properties. So if they set this one up, I mean, we feel like we're in the setup real good. So whatever.
Cool. All right. So more Disney Plus news. Moon Knight is coming, right? And they have announced one of the villains that's going to be facing off with Oscar Isaac's Moon Knight, Ethan Hawke. Now, I don't know if you guys remember way back, man, probably like 6 years ago now, but Ethan Hawke was in the running for Doctor Strange. And it was basically between him and Benedict Cumberbatch. So now he is coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Chief, what do you think about Ethan Hawke coming into Moon Knight?
Yeah, I like Ethan Hawke, so it'll be good to see him. I mean, he's a great actor, so I welcome him in. I hope, I hope the series overall is good. So, yeah, it'll be exciting to see him in this role.
And do you know the deal about Moon Knight?
I haven't seen I've read a Moon Knight comic in some time, but I do remember Moon Knight. But I mean, go ahead and give me the refresher.
So he's got multiple personalities, right? And one is a mercenary, one's a superhero, one's like a playboy, and he just operates in these different personalities through different points. I believe it is based on the shift of the moon. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out because he could be different characters in different episodes, essentially. Like he has one identity where he's like the classic superhero outfit with a cape and a cowl, and another one he's in an all white suit with a white mask. So he's like a low key version of a superhero. So there are lots of different ways they can play that with him. So it'll be fun to see what they end up doing. Now, guys, I know we weren't expecting this, but Chris Evans may be back as Captain America at some point. There is a rumor, a report that he has signed back up to return as Captain America. What makes the most sense to you guys as to where we see him? And Captain, and I don't know why I keep saying the Captain America and Falcon, but in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, or maybe something else. Jace, what do you think?
I think it makes more sense to see him kind of in a flashback moment before in Winter Soldier and Falcon and Winter Soldier. But I wouldn't be mad to see him in like kind of the next batch of Avenger films if it's like going to be like 2 more years away. But I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is probably the best way to go. I mean, but I guess since all that's done, it's not something he can come into. So maybe he's like next the springboard, like kind of how he was trying to do at the end of Age of Ultron, where he's like kind of training the next Avengers, where he's back like, oh, I thought you were dead. It's like, no, I'm here. It's like, so I'm wondering if I think that's probably what's going to end up happening, but we'll see.
Chi, what do you think?
Maybe, well, he goes back in time in the last in the Avengers Endgame. So maybe he goes back in time to fight Hydra because he knows how deep they are now, and maybe he just goes back and they show some villains from the past as he fights them, trying to break up the organization or the organization before it gets to the future where he popped in at.
Yeah.
So that might be interesting, and if you look at it from that perspective, because when we saw him again, he was old. So he just didn't probably go back, and you could see him as Captain America with old girl, and then he's got a family life, but also he's juggling being Captain America, trying to fight Hydra. Might be like might be some good story plots in that along that line.
Yeah, there's so many ideas they could go with him. One could be he could be one of those characters that pops up in the Secret Invasion series with Nick Fury as a Skrull who's masquerading as Captain America. he could also show up in the end of WandaVision or Doctor Strange and the Madness of the Multiverse as one of the characters on one of these different Earths that Wanda encounters. There's so many different ways they could do with him. So I'm curious to see if that's actually going to be true or not. One character, one person that we've seen before, it looks like is definitely a lot for Spider-Man 3 is Charlie Cox. It looks like he finished shooting his scene, whatever it is for the film. So we are going to see Daredevil in some capacity in Spider-Man 3. How excited are you guys about this?
Daredevil back? I'm a fan of that. Charlie Cox, it was kind of his version of Daredevil. He's like the old school version of Arrow, and it was really good. And to see him, I mean, it was almost like to see that storyline get not cut off, but it was the finale. You're just like, you sure y'all don't have at least 3 more seasons of story to tell for Daredevil? So putting him in a movie kind of like, there's a potential more Daredevil stories to tell. And like I said, he killed it on the role. So I'm glad to see him getting another shot to come back in MCU.
Chief, how excited are you about Daredevil coming back?
I liked him as Daredevil, although I never watched the final season and here's why. And I know you guys told me how good the final season was.
So good. It's like one of the best seasons of all the.
I hated the fact that they were I hate the fact knowing something is going to get canceled and then watching that season, because you get me so interested in the program and then I know it's not going to be any more. So I just I don't think if I had known Luke Cage was gonna be the last Luke Cage season, I probably wouldn't have watched that because
you would have been cheated out of Bushwhacker.
Yeah, but
I mean, man,
there was so much. They give you all this content, they have you geeking for more content, and then they're like, due to the fact that we're starting our own channel, we're gonna remove everything from Netflix and we're not gonna start. I'm like, dude, if you're gonna say you're gonna move it, then move the shit over to Disney Plus and continue the whatever. You know what I mean? Pay Netflix to release the guys, release the characters, release the actors, and then let them bring them over. But I'm not gonna watch something that's just gonna end. It's a rule of mine. Like I can go into the final season of something and watch it, but if you're just canceling it because over some politics of contracts or we're doing something else, I don't want to be bothered. I'm like it's one of my peeves.
Got nothing to do with it. I got you. Well, maybe hopefully you'll get bored one weekend and just decide I have nothing else to watch. I'll put this in and check it out because it's really good. But since you queued me up so nicely, Jace, you mentioned Arrow. Let's talk about the CW verse because there is no Arrowverse anymore. And at the rate it's going, there may not be much of an Arrowverse or CW verse. Batwoman season 2 had its season premiere this past Sunday. The ratings were not good. Third lowest rated of the series. People apparently did not care about the new Batwoman, and the show has seen its ratings steadily drop since the season premiere, season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys watch it first? And because there is a black Batwoman, are you more likely to watch it now?
As I said last week, I'm gonna have it on my. I put it on the DVR, ready to watch a couple episodes because I did not. I mean, I watched a couple episodes of Batwoman last season, and because of that, I'm like, I'm not intrigued until you come up with like a good storyline that could last a whole season. Not, oh, my sister, we're revealing in the first episode she's the crazy one and she's gonna be in every episode. Yay! It's like, nah, too much. Like, if you guys are the same writers, it's like, yeah, I'm not overly impressed, and maybe this just is me, but when they were breaking down the synopsis of Javika's character, it was like a 25-year-old homeless black girl. It's like, what? Why? I mean, this is just irksome stuff. It's like she couldn't be a middle class kid who's got trained to do all this. Like, really? She's got to be a homeless because she's a black girl. She's got to be homeless. It's like,
She's homeless.
I mean, it was just like,
Homeless.
I think I might have picked it up early. I mean, I might have watched it, but it was just like, you're going to spend that whole first episode explaining how a homeless girl gets into Wayne Manor. And that's going to take a whole, it's going to annoy me because it's going to basically like 3 episodes before you make any of this make sense. So I'll wait till 3 episodes when I see something stupid, I can instantly fast forward it and not make an hour-long show 15 minutes a show. So we'll see how that goes.
Jace is not very excited, Chief. How about you?
You know, I haven't. I watched maybe 4 or 5 episodes of the first season, and I haven't gotten back into it. I think it's might be on HBO Max or something like that. I think it's on HBO Max, and I never got back into it after the episode where it revealed it was her sister doing all the like 5 episodes in. It revealed it was her sister who was the head villain.
That was it for you, huh?
Well, and it wasn't the fact. I mean, it was cheesy, yes, and you know, Black Batwoman was, you know, I don't know. It didn't try to hold your attention, and you know, she quit, but I can see while watching, like she wasn't putting much effort into the character.
I don't think she's a good actress.
Well, maybe you know that's part of it too.
Don't
But
you think it's almost, hold on, like she got like almost paralyzed during the show? Do you think like that kind of scared her out of the role at that point, and then after that she didn't put much effort into it?
I feel like that was not the fault of. I mean, I can understand. Oh man, I'm kind of upset with the stunt crew. I'm not doing any of my own stunts at this point. But I feel like if you sign on for a TV series, that's. I mean, Henry Cavill messed his leg up shooting scenes for The Witcher. He's not going, well, I'm done with this thing and I'm not going to put forth any effort. I just think that's kind of a lame approach for it. I don't, but I could say that about every role that Ruby Rose has been in. She has negative charisma. The best role that she's been in has been John Wick Chapter 2, and that's when she didn't say a word. She was a cooler mute than she was a superhero. Chief, did anything else motivate you with her?
so it was that I thought, and I also thought that you know maybe and besides you know you're right, her acting isn't the best, but at the same time, I'd rather have seen a bigger woman. And I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't understand why they keep putting 90-pound people in these roles of fighters like this. Um, you know what I mean? Like we're all here. Like I have no doubt in my mind that a professionally trained 90-pound woman I would still be able to beat. It's you're 90 pounds. I mean, unless you're just hitting pressure points or something on me so quick that I can't see or grab you and pick you up and slam you. You're 90 pounds. I I don't know why they so. And as far as the black girl, you know, we already had a good black show, Black Lightning. Black Lightning last season was fantastic. Um, and they canceled it. So now,
It has one more season.
is it giving it one more season? I thought they canceled it this season, last season.
No, it's got
Okay.
one more.
So we're gonna watch this season here. It's gone. You're not putting any effort into this new Batgirl because you know what I mean. I think it's you just kind of throwing some stuff at it. I will watch it the first episode just because it's a you know it's a new character, Black Girl. See how she does. Um, but I definitely hope they get some decent storylines, some decent writing. Like put some effort into this. I don't know anything about Batwoman. I keep calling her Batgirl. Batwoman. I don't know anything about Batwoman other than the fact that she's um, gay in the comics. I guess she's no longer gay in the show. I mean,
No,
I guess.
no, she is.
Did they bring the black girls now gay too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This year, Leslie is bisexual.
Okay. So, did they make the girl that is the other girl that she had a love interest still in there?
I have no idea about that one.
See what I'm saying?
That would be an anomaly for the CW to have a black and black couple outside of Black Lightning.
And the fact is, like, the sidekick is actually black too, which is like that would make the whole top third of the cast black. I'm sure, like,
whoa.
You gotta find what's this? Curtis Fox is now played by.
Yeah, the funny stuff there. But yeah, I don't know, Chief. I totally forgot to set my recording for it, and then it was like, oh man. Typically, the CW airs reruns of their shows, especially during the pandemic, and then they did air it on right after All American, which I did watch. And if you guys have not been watching All American, it is the most ridiculous soap opera on TV. And it's amazing to me how many writers they have or don't have that are black that just go along with whatever direction the other writers decide to go in. As opposed to going, I don't really think this is what a black person would do here, Jan. And Jan's like, no, this is amazing. You'll see. And then they go, all right, Jan, I guess we will see. But it's ridiculous, and I don't know how they keep going with it. But it's funny because of how ridiculous the scenarios and subplots are. So I would advise you, if you haven't, just binge it on Netflix and prepare to let the comedy and laughs roll. One thing you will not be able to watch on the CW, however, is the Green Arrow and the Canaries spinoff, because shockingly, it's not moving forward. And that basically means the entire 7th season of Arrow, which devoted so much time to Mia and setting up her future, is worthless. And the final episode of Arrow, which had little to do with Oliver Queen and the look ahead to what was going to happen in Mia's future, is also worthless. Jace, I know we talked throughout the season about what a waste of time it was to spend so much effort, so much time on this character when there is no guarantee about the spinoff. Now that there is no spinoff, does that look even dumber to do so much effort on Mia and her canceled show?
I'm completely stupid. I understand. It's like somebody pitches like, hey, we're gonna do a backdoor pilot in this. It wasn't even just the 7th season. It was like they put that future storyline, and it was like, wait, what sense does this make? I mean, that was season 7, and then they basically wasted half of season 8 instead of the wrap up of Oliver Queen. It was, hey, let's try and make this all the Canary, and then we're going to try and put this mystery in there that makes you want to watch. It's like, no. I mean, again, going back to Chief's point, it's like Mia is not conceivable. Is going to take down bad guy. Just stop. I mean, Black Canary, super fighter, got a sonic cry, gotcha. Mia, no. Just, I don't care if she's trained by Nissa. No, just no. Just stop it. Like, Nissa wasn't as good as Oliver supposedly as a fighter, so how is she gonna be? No, just stop it. I was just like, and it's like William was an annoying character. It was just like, you guys are not doing anything compelling, and to make me watch. It's like Sarah, the version of Sarah they have is, was it Dark Black Siren, and she was a jerk. So it was like, again,
no, you're talking Laurel. You're talking Laurel.
Laurel, because Laurel is Black Siren. Like when they tried to actually kind of make her into Laurel, and that should have been like a mystery for like 2 seasons or something. But it's like, no, it's Black Siren from the other. It's like, so the actual decent Laurel is now completely gone. You guys screwed that. So what's the point of us actually watching the show again? Nah, man, we don't got him. And we're gonna wait. And again, we wasted all Oliver's time. Good luck. Sorry about that. It's like, oh, and Stephen Amell's pissed about his final scene. Yeah, great job. We did an excellent job this season.
Good job all around. And Chief, there's not going to be a lot of reason for you to watch Batwoman because they were planning to do a crossover, World's Finest, with Batwoman and Superman and Lois. And those plans got changed because of COVID. So it will not get the boost that most of the CW shows get when they do a crossover. So we're not going to see one of those this year. And Flash has been pushed back to March. What do you guys think about this?
It's just a COVID kind of situation. I mean, everything's been pushed back. Every movie, every show. Um, what are you gonna do, man? I guess March will be here soon enough. Um, but for the most part, uh, it's nothing you can do, man. I mean, it's been tough for everybody, and tough for movies, and it's at this point it's just kind of more of the same. Um, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that, like I said, at this point in time, you hoping for good content. Um, when it does come out, like they put some, like this extra time they've put into the show. You know what I mean? Like the writers have been writing, putting things together. Versus, I mean, everybody's had time at home. You've had time to. You can't say this year that you haven't had time to write in the last year and come up with these shitty storylines that we've been getting. Like at this point, you're able to put something together and say, "Hey, we've got some good content. We know we're late getting everything out, but you're gonna enjoy the hell out of the season." That's what I want to hear. You know.
I haven't been hearing that too much.
Yeah, it is the CW.
Yeah, man. So how much longer can the CW operate with their shows? We've got Legends of Tomorrow, Flash, Superman and Lois, Batwoman, which apparently is fading fast, Black Lightning, and Supergirl, which are ending this season. Maybe a Wonder Woman spinoff, and maybe a Painkiller spinoff. They're not household names, though. Are you guys excited about the future of the CW?
Again, why are they using the last season of Black Lightning to be a backdoor pilot for Painkillers? Like, hey, we're thinking about doing a Painkiller show. Put us into Black Lightning. It's like, if you watch the end of Black Lightning, it's like, are you kidding me? You don't have more story to tell after the end of last season? You're telling me you can wrap that all up and then go to what Khalil is going to do? And it's like, oh, and guess what? The character Jennifer is done with Hollywood. So for all that years of story that you guys thought you had built in, gone. So it's just Khalil doing Khalil things. It's like, I don't.
Old girl is leaving?
Yeah, she said she's done with Hollywood.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, Chief. Maybe it's a Corona thing, but she's focusing on things that are more important and not this fickle celebrity lifestyle that she's been living.
The fickle job? Like, isn't it a job?
I mean, she doesn't mind the job. It's all the other stuff that comes with it, putting on the fakeness and
Okay, yeah. How old is she?
I think she's twice as young as you and I.
Okay, yeah, I guess so then. I mean, there's always somebody that who, at a young age, quit a great job.
I could do better.
You know what I mean?
You know anybody like that?
Yeah, I've known a couple of coworkers at a time, like, you know what? I'm through here. And I'm like, where you going? And then, you know what I mean?
I'm going to go pursue my dream.
Right. Yeah. You see them a year later, and they're like, do you want this supersize? And you're like, oh, okay. Well, so, I guess, man, all right. So you did a whole Khalil, like Jason said, you did a whole Khalil thing, but you can't take her into the new show. You're getting rid of the old show. Supernatural has ended. I don't know. I guess they're gonna just come out with I guess they're gonna come out with a damn good lineup.
Yeah.
And Supernatural was my favorite show on the CW. So they got Walker coming out though, right?
Yeah.
So with Jared, so that should be, that I'm gonna watch that because and then I think Jensen is going to do another season of the Boys. I think he's gonna do the Boys.
Right. Yeah, he's on season 3 of The Boys.
Yeah, so and I'm gonna, I'm already hooked on the Boys, and I'm already a fan of Jared, so I watch both of their shows. But as far as the superheroes on the CW, I mean, I guess if Supergirl's coming to an ending, Black Lightning's coming to an ending, Flash has been the longest tenure, right? Now.
Yeah.
So I guess we got a year or two of Flash.
I would guess. Well, it's still the network's highest rated show.
So that's gonna, at some point that's gonna come to an end. So, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to do a Wonder Woman with Wonder Woman out in the theaters, right? Can they? You think they can pull that off?
This one is supposed to be Yara Flor. She is the
her
billion Wonder Woman who they're starting to establish now as this future state storyline, and now they're going to bring her comic to the present day with her as a teenager and kind of explore her in that way.
She's like from the Teen Titans Wonder Woman.
Huh?
Like the Teen Titans had the Wonder Woman there?
Yeah, basically she's going to be the Wonder Woman in training, and I guess that's how they're going to approach the show. They also had Naomi, based off this Brian Michael Bendis, David Walker title. Jason's not excited about Bendis. It's like saying the Candyman 3 times. Yeah, I don't know if any of these shows are really exciting to be like, oh man, I can't wait to see them. They're very different characters, very different stories in terms of what we would normally get, but they're so off the fringe that I don't know if they're going to find an audience.
Do you think that like Stargirl could help out? I mean, because now that's moving to CW full time, and I don't know if she's like. I mean, hell, we could throw another fake crisis and throw them in that world if need to. I mean, we need to, but it almost is. It's like we're getting rid of our black superhero who's got a seat on the Justice League Council. We lost Supergirls on the Justice League Council. I don't see. I mean, in all the guys that potentially could have had like a spinoff from Flash, like you could have had a Ralph and Sue show. That's not going to happen. We lose Kid Flash. Kid Flash is he's not good. We could do a Vibe and Gypsy. That's not going to happen. I don't think. And you try and incorporate some of these new ones in there. It's like you now have Flash is going to be the only elder statesman because Kara's going to be gone for some reason, and we're not going to mention the fact that Supergirl's ending, which you're going to go to Argo and just like, yeah, just like I did when I initially came on the scene, just because I had my power. Now that I don't have to because Superman's on here full time, I'm just going to peace out again. It's like that's kind of I don't see it. The optics of this don't look good. And if I was like betting man, I say the CW verse comes in about 3 years. I mean, no matter what Flash, but I got.
How much longer they got, Chief?
Yeah, about 2-3 years. Maybe I could see a Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
Well, they've got a Green Lantern show coming on HBO Max, but I don't think he is one of those featured Green Lanterns.
Was it Mog? What's the dude's Mog?
Mogo?
The pig?
Kilowog.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. They're pretty much coming to like I don't even know what content they're gonna put out. I guess that from after what that 5 to 7 content they put there.
Yeah.
It's the national anthem will come on, and then just like when we was kids.
And you've been watching the CW. Yeah, dude. I don't know. They're kind of messy right now. Speaking of movies that you mentioned earlier, looks like everything that was set to come to theaters before July including No Time to Die, the latest James Bond film, Black Widow, The Quiet Place 2, Fast and Furious 9, and the latest Minions piece, all getting delayed, shockingly, because the virus didn't magically go away once it turned 2021. So
It's
these
still here?
films, huh?
I said it's still here?
Who knew? And so yeah, so they're still trying to figure out what the heck they're doing, and it looks like all of the original slate of films for the first half of the year is going to get pushed back. Now maybe some of them go to streamers, some of them will just keep getting pushed back another year. How long before you stop caring about these films?
Most of the films you name, I don't care about anyway, except for Quiet Place. Like, I've been waiting for Quiet Place to come out, part two to come out. You know, I mean, hell, when they shut down everything, I think Quiet Place was gonna start like that coming week, and um, I was geeked for it. I was like, man, I can't wait. Shut down everything. I'm waiting on it. You know, Bond, not so much. What was the other one that you named? Fast and Furious,
Fast and Furious.
not so much.
What?
Listen, man. If you want to know the plot of this Fast and Furious movie, go back and watch the last one. I mean, you know what I mean? And if you want to know the plot of that one, go back and watch the one before that. Like, they're not
way more complicated than that.
like
There's so
they're
much
not
more.
breaking new ground anymore. It's the same movie, just in a different place.
Dude, they were racing against a submarine last movie.
Oh no! And the time before that, they were racing against something else and something planes and
Thanks,
yada
man.
yada.
Thanks.
And you know it. You know, and then we get to see. I don't even know if we're gonna have a fake Brian in this last one where they digitally impose his face on someone. I just like at this point, man. Like, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Will I probably go see it? Yes. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna sit up here and listen and tell our listeners I'm not gonna go see it. But at this point, am I surprised by what happens in one? No. I mean, it's just you know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be some big car scene where they jump out of a building or jump out of a plane or you know
I'm not hearing a problem, Chief.
huh?
I'm not hearing a problem with that.
It's not that it's a problem. I'm just saying that, like, for example, we all love John Wick, right?
Yeah.
But John Wick does the same damn thing every time. We just like to watch him kill. Same with the Fast and Furious. It's the same thing over and over. We just like to watch them. The scenes are phenomenal. The action scenes, but is it really any different from the last one? The last one had a phenomenal scene. This one has a phenomenal scene. It's the same movie. So the plot is the plot. All that incredible? No. This is fucking geeky. But, you know, they're going to steal something at the end. They trick somebody. It's the same thing. You know,
Man, you are.
Look at this hand here. Look at this hand here. And the right hand is picking your pocket. It's the same thing.
Cold water to this franchise. Jason, you excited or are you disappointed about these films getting pushed back?
No, I mean, I'm glad they pushed them back. It's like you're gonna be in another situation like Tenet. Oh yeah, we released the movie, didn't make half the numbers we expected. And actually, since I finally watched Tenet, stupid call not to release that movie. I mean, it was just
Thank
like
you. It's so good, right?
It was like I mean, it's like I watched it like was it Monday and I'm like, man, I mean, maybe I'm starved for content, but is it too early? I mean, can I watch that again on Friday? I mean, it's like, man, are they gonna make a sequel to this? I'm like, I was just like, really? I understand. I mean, it's like you would get so much more even just releasing it in home theater would have been a bigger bang. It's like, really, just y'all. I mean, I was a little annoyed with that, but it's like the rest of these movies is like very much delaying. If you think you need to make money on them, delaying because nobody's going to go to the theaters unless it's a super blockbuster like Wonder Woman was supposed to be, and then you're only going to make maybe a third of the money you expect to make. So if you're in a was it 007 business, like you only have so many Daniel Craig Bond left, so you need to make all the money you can. Yeah, okay, so it's this last one. I'm sure they put $200 or $300 million in this movie. I mean, like when it comes to promotion and the actual budget, you can't put that out in a world you're not going to make it back. I mean, you're that's just dumb. Like Quiet Place 2, I was annoyed that they didn't put that on stream because I would eat quickly. I mean, I keep saying it. I would have easily bought that and been watching that quite comfortably because it would have been released on Blu-ray now, and I'd be like, man, that was a good investment. Like I really enjoyed that. The typical January, February Mila Jovovich movie. You guys know it's pointless. I mean, you could go direct to video, but you know if you do it once, you're never going back to theaters with these. So just save them, go them in the can, and we'll get to them when we can in July if we're lucky.
Maybe. All right. Well, fellas, that's it for this one. Who are your nominees for Dummies of the Week?
Yeah, I know this is going to sound like a long pause, but I'm not really sure this is a good move by my dummy of the week based on the idea. So Amanda Bynes just decided that she's a rapper, and she's releasing a rap song soon. Now
she should totally write the theme song for Becky Lynch. Stop me when you get it.
It's just the ideas. Like I know we love to have diverse ideas of thought and blah blah blah, but the idea of you being a rapper is probably, I mean, not the easiest way to go. So that's going to be my dummy of the week on this one.
Not for you. All right, Chief, how about you?
You know, I think there was a guy who ran through the Capitol, and in his, I don't know, I guess in his riotous rage, yelled out his whole name. And while they were reviewing the tape, he was like, "Yeah, this, for instance, nobody's gonna stop Tommy Sanders from from doing what he wants in here." And the FBI was just like, "Oh, we don't even have to track this dude down. His name is right here for us." I just feel like if you're going to commit a crime, if you're going to rob people, if you're going to destroy property, if you're going to do everything, leave your wallet at home, and probably be a good time to shut your mouth about who you are. So yeah, that guy's the dummy of the week for me.
Soul Boy was basically going, Leroy James.
Right. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Leroy James. I don't know why I said James.
What are you gonna do, man? I mean, that's just the dumbest thing. I was like, oh, so they didn't do anything to find him, huh? Just, yeah. Come on down.
How hard do we have to work for this one? Not hard. Not as hard as you thought. All right, my dummy of the week is whoever decided that the world needed a Willy Wonka prequel. I need to know how he made his chocolate factory, where he recruited the Oompa Loompas, and where he got the gold for his tickets. So good. So good. I don't need to know about his dark obsession with chocolate and where that came from. Just, hey, maybe we don't need a Willy Wonka movie. So that's
prequel. Even worse.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, fellas, thank y'all as always for rolling with me. Thank y'all out there for listening. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.